Friends in Christ, Pastor Brian here. Martin Luther wrote that a theologian of the cross says that a thing is actually what it is. In other words, a theologian of the cross calls a spade a spade. Now, this is one of the core theological understandings of Lutheran theology, that we speak truth in love, not only to ourselves, but to others. Now, often this means speaking uncomfortable truths about where we fall short in our lives. Things that point to our need for Jesus on the cross, that point to ugly and sin-filled things in life. But I was reminded by the son of a friend of mine today that sometimes that calling a thing what it is actually means providing context and reminding us of the beauty and goodness in life. There's plenty in our world and in our lives as citizens of the United States that we need to see the ugly truth about, to call a thing what it is and call believers to actions. But too often our politics and in our media, we leverage incidents and innuendo to make it seem like it's all this way, that the world is turning into this. And often this language is used to make us afraid and to get us to do something, to watch their show or their news outlet, to vote for them because they'll do X, Y, and Z to stop it. What my friend's son did was remind me of context. To speak the truth about what something actually is, not what it gets painted as. Now, the truth is that no human institution or interaction will be perfect. Sin is a present reality in our lives. But that doesn't mean that most of our lives are not filled with good and loving people who are doing their best. He spoke truth about our schools, about the teachers who spend so much of their time, their own resources and energy to make life better for our children. He wrote of teachers who inspire and empower, who make sure a kid has food or clothes who might otherwise go without, who connects them with resources to explore their passions and dreams. Those many who encourage and uplift, who protect and care for our children. He reminded me that while there may be things that are less than optimal that happen, the truth is that the vast majority of our schools, teachers, administrators, and staff are doing admirable and honorable work with scarce resources. He calls a thing what it is, flawed, certainly, but also filled with love, grace, kindness, and a desire to help other human beings better themselves. Now, that's the kind of theologian of the cross that I want to be. One that calls a spade, both to shatter the illusions we create about how things are better than they really are, but also to shatter the illusions we create about how things are worse than they really are. To remember that in the end, the hope of the world lies not in you and me, or a political leader or party, but in the God who sent Jesus into the world to love it fully and completely back into life. Who extends us undeserved grace and forgiveness and calls us to pass along that grace and forgiveness to others, in whom we find hope, both for ourselves but also for our world, our nation, our community. And so when the picture being painted for us by the media or politicians or our own perceptions seems to be of nothing but gloom and destruction, let us be theologians of the cross. Look at what is really happening, acknowledge what is broken, but also speak clearly of how God is at work in and through us and our neighbors to bring grace, love, and forgiveness into the world. Thanks be to God.